Welcome back to Wizard Supercoach. Round one is done and dusted. Hopefully you had a good round. There were some bloody big scores out there, I tell you. I thought I was doing really well with a 2,407, and then I see that Team of the Week got like 2,550. Now, obviously, the first round is always notoriously hard to score in, or the first few rounds anyway, for obvious reasons, but yeah, crazy. It's just the quality of players out there is getting better every year, I swear. And there's more and more content I think people are latching onto. So the average, how would you say it? Like the average ability of players out there is definitely lifting year after year. But in terms of my own score and stuff, it was my best start to a year ever. So both score wise and rank wise. So yeah, 2,407 score. Could have easily been a 2,450, and I'll explain it later. But yeah, rank of 1,706, so I'm inside the top 1%. It's where I wanted to be, ideally. And I should be like over the moon with that. And don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with it, but the one thing playing on my mind is obviously the negative that I did choose the wrong player on the field in the forward line, which I definitely wouldn't have been alone. I got the rookie roulette right for the most part. And yeah, you know what it's like. You're flying and then you get to Sunday and things start to happen. So I'll go through the team. And yeah, there's a couple of problems with this team already, but got to be happy anyway. So Sinclair at 123. Most people think it's a pick of either him or Nas. It's pretty rare to see both picked in a team, and I'm glad I pivoted to Sinclair. So I had Nas in there all preseason, and yeah, so far it looks like Sinclair's the better pick. I mean, he's averaging 133. I can't remember what Nas scored today, but he didn't ton or anything. So yeah, it's looking a bit dire there for him. From what I could see, St Kilda again, they're not trying to give the ball to Nas at every opportunity. There was one where they tried to do it. I can't remember which player it was. He tried to give him the ball when he absolutely shouldn't have, and it just completely backfired. So, yeah, if St Kilda want to do well as a team, they'll stop, I think, trying to give him the ball when they shouldn't. But yeah, Sinclair, he killed it. He started off a little bit slow. I think his disposal efficiency was down to begin with. But yeah, a 123, like, that's a good rally there. So, pretty stoked with that pick. Rosie a 105, probably a little bit disappointing. Like, you shouldn't complain about a 105, but I think given that they are playing North and everyone kind of expected Port should beat North, I think we were expecting a 120 minimum. But yeah, 105, that's not the end of the world. That's fine. He was probably Port's best player, so at least it wasn't as bad as Clark, who gave me a 75. I should have went with Worrell or even Laird. Laird did better than him, but yeah, I was off the two Crows players, as I mentioned in my team reveal, because Clark's got the better buy, and there's no Ryan, so he's kind of like the main man back there. Now, I watched the first half of this game, and then I had to go to a wedding, so yeah, I was a bit disappointed I had to miss the second half. Obviously, I enjoyed going to the wedding and stuff, but no one wants to miss half a game of footy. I didn't see what happened with Clark. So when I left, he was looking good. First quarter in particular, he was running from behind and receiving, kicking into the forward 50 and stuff like that. Everything looked good. And then, yeah, by the time I'd left home and gotten to the wedding, his score had completely stalled. So I don't think he scored in the last quarter at all, did he? So my question is, because I haven't been able to watch a replay yet, did Geelong send someone to him? Or what happened? It sounds like something Chris Scott would do, and, it makes sense as a good coaching move, because Clark was good in that first half. But yeah, I'm not sure, so I'll watch a replay eventually, but I want to know what's gone wrong with this, because he's quite expensive, and yeah, if I didn't have other problems, I'd probably go elsewhere, I think. He didn't even have a monopoly on the kick-in, which, one of the reasons I picked him, no Luke Ryan, and I thought he'd have that. Yeah, just bizarre. So I'll probably reserve judgment until I find out what happened with that one. But let me know in the comments if you know. Grill was 73. That's great for a rookie, even at his elevated price. Like, that's still really good. He's going to make a ton of cash. Seems to have no problem finding the ball. He's got good job security, I think, good role, all of that. Like, really good. Thing is, I think everyone's got him. He's pretty highly owned, isn't he? What is he? 69% of teams. So, yeah. A lot of players in my team are highly owned, so it doesn't really matter right now. How many people fielded him? This is where it's interesting. 67% was starting him. You'd be spewing if you started him off, I think. Just because Sarong, with his 54, so obviously, 20 points lower or something than last week. Everyone would have been expecting him, I guess, to be the top scoring rookie back there. And yeah, it didn't work out. So if you benched Grill, yeah, you'd be spewing, I guess. But that's rookie roulette for you. So Sarong, I didn't see this game. Brisbane aren't easy to score on at the best of times, even when they're struggling like now. But I'm assuming that Sarong played wing. Sometimes it's just not your day, I think. But yeah, his job security and stuff looks good. Sydney are flying, so I don't expect him to be a problem. Field him with confidence every week until we have a reason not to. And Jake's an 80, so 84 last week. That's heaps good. He's going to make a shit ton of cash to begin with if he can pump out another 80. He is part of the reason why I didn't pick Buderick. Now, I was meant to talk about that in the team review, and I ended up leaving a pinned comment instead because I forgot to talk about it. But Dale obviously was like underdone and not doing too much, not being used too much in the round zero game. Jake's did all right, but I don't think any team can have three of those half-back distributor types. So look at GWS at the moment. Fonte is starting to do well. So you had in round zero, Ash was quite low and Whitfield still scored good. This time you had Whitfield was down and Ash was up, but Fonte was still quite good. So it seems like only 2 of the 3 can do well at a time. So Buderick didn't have like a terrible score this week. Probably not for his price anyway, but yeah, I think the worries were justified. I think as Dale gets more and more, Buderick and Jakes will probably get less because I think Dale was only just starting to warm up. But anyway, Jakes doesn't have to get nearly as much as Buderick because of the price difference. So that was the thinking for that one in the end. Lindsay is 61. Started off really slow. I was really worried about him. He was on like 14 or something in the third quarter. But yeah, he picked up as West Coast did. So it was interesting actually. Like it looked like it was a formality that Gold Coast were going to reach 200 points. And then second half, full credit to West Coast. They did not stop trying. And they probably exposed Gold Coast a little bit, I think. There's a bit of a blueprint there of how to beat them. They don't seem to like that possession chip game at all. They kind of want you to play really attacking towards them so that they can either hit you on the rebound or just full attack from the middle. But yeah, it was pretty good by West Coast actually. Selwood, he's got that lockdown role. 38, like that's going to happen, especially when the Dogs have a big win. There's no need to really possess the ball heavily in defence if they can get out of there easily, which they were. So, yeah, guys like him, their score's going to suffer. I didn't look at how he got his points, but I'm guessing he didn't get a ton of tackles like he did the week before. It's probably another reason as well why I was off Buderick is because, and I said it in that comment, if you look at the Dogs' backline, look at all the smalls, there is 3 distributor types back there. Out of all of them, like apart from Selwood, who's a lockdown, who was starting on the bench, Buderick's the next one up that would be good at being a lockdown. We know he can do it, so yeah, I think inevitably he's going to have to play lockdown at times because a team is going to test the Dogs a lot, and it could be this week, it could be the Crom. I mean, I'm not going to tip the Crom. The betting is $1.90 a piece, which is odd, but yeah, it could be this week that Buderick is forced to do that. Who knows? So now to the midfield, and this was the line that did really well for me. Just consistent, really. So the Bont, I think there's a lesson here, like, and I don't want to go early because it's only been a week, but you can't jump off players like Bont over 1 week of circumstances. So Croft was injured in round 0, so Bont went forward as that extra kind of like third tool. The guy scored 100 and, what do you get, 113, something like that. He's going to score no matter where he is. There's a reason why he's the best Supercoach player and has been for quite a while. Like, you can't write these guys off. You can't be surprised when they go and do this. He's also got a hatred for GWS, which is why I put the VC on him, because I thought he would just be hell-bent on going large. And he did, so it worked out well. It's probably the major reason, obviously, why I got a decent score. But yeah, I just don't want to be messing around with these players like Bont. People every year think, oh, I'll get them cheaper later on. And you might, it's fine. But one, he's already averaging more than he scored last year. So he's not losing money anytime soon, unless he puts in a shitter. But yeah, you're going to miss out on these 160 type scores along the way. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to save like 50, 40k if he gets down to 650. Like, you still got to find 650 and you're going to miss out on those scores. So I don't think it's worth the money, really, to try and get him cheaper. Unless you know something that I don't, and, you know, you think he's going to shit out a bunch of bad scores in a row or something, but I can't see it happening. The guy's just, he's on another level. I still think he's the best player in the AFL, at least for his position. Then there's Butters. So he actually doesn't score, well, at least last year, he didn't score that great against North. Probably should have seen this coming. I can't remember who tagged him today either, but he also doesn't do great at Marvel. I think his highest score is like a 125 or something. So yeah, but you would have expected he'd do better than this. I thought he'd at least ton. Same logic as Bont though. I wouldn't bother trying to get Butters cheaper. Like, you might get him a little bit cheaper, but he's just as likely next week. Who have they got? They got Essendon. Butters could legitimately go 200 next week. Before you laugh, like, he's gotten up to those scores before. I don't think there's anyone at Essendon that's capable of tagging him in the middle. I don't think any of them are quick enough. So, yeah, and Butters is a proud guy. Like, he's not going to take this loss, because Port were disgusting, I thought. He's not going to take that lightly. He'll bounce back. He'll take it personally, Michael Jordan style. You watch, he'll score well next week. So I'm not worried in the least. Dacos a 126. I know some people feel like he's being underscored this year, even though he's on a 121, which is higher than last year's average. It's just because I haven't really looked at the numbers, but from the eye test, he's not winning contested ball. He's doing a lot more of that seagull type stuff again, like when he first started, where he'd run past for multiple handballs. You know, you don't get Supercoach points for that. I mean, you do, but not as many as if you win your own ball. So I think that's the reason. If you look at his stats in isolation, like all the possessions he's got and the goals and stuff, you would think, yeah, he probably is underscored. But that's what I love about Supercoach. You got to just look that little bit deeper, and it becomes pretty obvious why. There's 100% no conspiracy this year. They haven't changed the scoring system. Yeah, they're not favouring players or anything like that. It's easy, obviously, when it doesn't go your way to think that, but it's at the end of the day, I don't think it's happening. Heaney is a worry for me. So he got a 98, he got an 89 in opening round. He's going to lose money. What's his break even? 149. That's if he even plays. So they're claiming it was hamstring tightness, but he refused to go back out on the field. So that's not a good sign. And he's not exactly young anymore. I think he's approaching 30, isn't he? So a little bit of a worry. I think soft tissue, anything is scary in a player like that. Especially in a midfielder, seeing as they got to cover so much ground. I think I might have to punt him. And a major reason why, and you know, it was a major reason why I picked him in the first place, was his scoring with Goulden in the team is like 20 points on average better. So Goulden's going to miss quite a while, it looks like. So I think I'm just going to ditch Heaney while I can. I don't even know who to, but it may have to happen unless I discover big problems in the team, because there's like Philippou and Marshall were injured. Toby Murray's got to go, but yeah, I'll get to that later. The Swans are flying though, so it is hard. And to think that I got Clark in because I didn't want Blakey because of the bye, it wouldn't matter now. It's so annoying what this game can do. Gotta love it though. Parish 93, so yeah, it's good. He can do that every week at that price. He's going to be a good stepping stone, I think. All he has to do is stay fit, and that is the challenge for him every year. But if he can, we don't need him for a long time. I think after 6 weeks or something, like, he can go. It's fine. He can become a full primo. Wasn't so long ago that he averaged like 114 in a season, which is hard to believe, but yeah, you can kind of see glimpses of what he used to be like. So yeah, happy with that. And happy with Bruin as well. I said a couple of weeks ago, I'll admit, like I said, he was a trap, or he at least was given trap vibes, but the role just looks so good in round 0, and he's backed it up again. So, Chris Scott can be hard to trust, but when something's working like this, I don't think he would be dumb enough to change it. I mean, the guys, look at Geelong's results over the last 15 years. I can't see him changing it. He's not that much of a terrorist, surely. So yeah, Bruin looks really bloody good. Smith a 113. Don't expect that every week. But yeah, everyone's got him, so who cares? It's irrelevant what he does, really. Blameyer's a 70. I'll take that from a 99k rookie every day of the week. So yeah, really happy with the midfield as a whole, even if a couple of them probably did underperform. Heaney, to be fair, was on the way to a pretty big score, and then he got injured, so yeah, not really his fault, but yeah, a few points left there. Sharp 57, he can just ride the bench and get 57 every week. He'll eventually make the money, that's fine. Carroll 59, maybe some issues with his job security now, but I don't think it's that bad. There's Saints supporters saying that he's not actually in direct competition with Stocker, so I'm just going to listen to them. Hopefully it's good. If he stays in the team this week, well, I won't trade him. I don't think I can anyway, because I want to get in Murdoch, who was great, by the way, but if anyone's going for him, it could be Watkins, I reckon. But then I got the 3 injuries, so, and Murray. So Carroll probably survives by default. I haven't even really thought about it yet. But Watkins wasn't that great. Yeah, obviously Murdoch was better. I know it's only been 1 week, but yeah, night and day there. I mean, West Coast are pretty bad, and I thought Port were worse. At least West Coast second half was better than Port played anyway. So yeah, Watkins is a worry. I think that Carr will play him though, just because he's Butters' mate. You want to try and keep Butters there. If Butters leaves, seriously, they're in deep shit. I'm not going into it because I'll piss off Port supporters and stuff. So yeah, I'll just quietly move on to the ruck line now. And this was probably what set my team apart from a lot of teams, I thought. Didn't see too many people running the old Gawn and Cherry. But I want to set and forget, and hopefully that's going to be the case. Cherry was scaring me early. He didn't get a hit out in the first quarter, and he still was on track for a ton. I think he got 25 points in the first quarter. So, I don't know. I guess that's a good sign. It's also a bad sign, because Visentini was jumping all over him. He's not a jumping ruckman at all. But as the game went on and it got a bit more compressed and a bit more defensive, obviously that was when he started to shine, started winning hit-outs and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you can go a whole quarter without winning a hit-out as a ruck, surely that's a good thing that you can still salvage a 128. Like, if that's the worst you're going to serve up, like, bloody hell, you got to be happy with that. Then there's Gawn. So he also started pretty slow. To be fair, TDK was playing really good for the first couple of quarters, and then Gawn wore him out, which is amazing considering the age difference on them, and the 34-year-old ran out the game so much better. Gawn just dominated. Like, that last quarter, I think he got 75 points or something. It's one of the best things about owning him is that when he is at 3/4 time, he's on like 55 points or something like that. You still know that a 120 can happen. It's the same with Cherry. They can both pile on like 80 points in a quarter, and you're not going to be too surprised. So, yeah, Gawn, I think he still got it. The one thing I did notice, though, is that he wins a lot of taps, but the midfielders he's currently tapping to, they're obviously not as good as Oliver and Petrarca and that, so Probably a few points go begging there for him. But again, he's got other avenues to score. And there's going to be weeks where the midfield's just going to read it, and that's how it is. They'll get better. So scary as it is, Gawn possibly could get even better from here. He didn't make his break even. Not quite. I think he went 5 points under. But yeah, that's 122. Absolutely fine. TDK is not the easiest to score on, particularly for a ruckman like Gawn. So a 141 break even. And I mean, if you go on the set and forget, who gives a shit if he loses money anyway? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes in round 2 against the Jackson and probably Darcy combo. Jackson made him look pretty bad, I thought, and it was at Cameron as well in the State of Origin, but yeah, you can't read too much into that. It definitely feels like with the ruck line, they're going to start to score better as the season goes on. You can already see it in games, like some of the games anyway. They can still clam the game up and be defensive when they want to, and that's when players like Gawn, they shine. I think Cherry as well. As the season goes on, I think we'll see more and more of it. I'm totally of the belief that it doesn't matter what rules they change, the coaches are going to work it out eventually. And I've said that many times before in my videos, and I'm sticking with it. I guess the other ruck, Kalani White, he was really useful. He didn't play, but that allowed me to VC Bont. So yeah, I think I said this in the team reveal. The only reason I ended up going with the loop was I have no faith in Edwards or ZZ and their job security. If it had been a case of there being like another ruckman who had job security like McAndrew, then I probably would have just went with them and straight captain Bont. But yeah, I don't think Edwards or ZZ are going to make much money. So it really, what are they going to make? Like, I'm estimating 50, 60k, something like that. I'm not wasting a whole trade on 50 or 60k. So I think it's better to just bank the points off the VC. Could have been a disaster. Like, let's say if you captained Butters and people would have like straight captained him. Man, that totally changes your score. So yeah, it's worked this week at least. No need really for it now that we're into the bye rounds, but yeah, just thought I'd justify why I did that. And then McAndrew in the flex, I'll skip to him because he's a ruck as well. He was awesome. He's probably, I thought, the main reason why we won. All the talk is about Miller and Thilthorpe and a few others, but McAndrew, for me, seeing our midfield get first use of the ball probably suggests that the Crom midfield, it's not that bad. It hasn't, maybe it wasn't them all along. Like, Rob gets a lot of taps, but it's rarely to advantage. So to see, like, Decam is a great ruckman. Like, seriously, I rate him highly. But to see McAndrew jumping all over him and winning clean taps straight to guys like Berry and Berry streaming out in the midfield, it was crazy to see. So yeah, maybe that was what Crom were missing all along. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, Nick's would have seen that too, and McAndrew ain't going anywhere, I think, unless he gets injured or really tired or something like that. With the way that Murray performed, I mean, he had 2 touches. I think he only had 30% game time too. They'll probably just end up bringing Rob in. Because, you know, if you're not getting anything from Murray around the field, you might as well just put Rob in that 5th spot and give him 30% game time. At least he's a better ruck than Murray. Maybe they'll persist with Murray for a while because he's only 22. But yeah, I mean, if there is one compliment I can give Rob, he is a pretty good contested mark. He just, you know, he can't kick the ball or anything. That's the problem. But if he can take the mark and hand it off, like, it's better than 2 touches from Murray if that's how he's going to continue to be. Which I was surprised at because he looked really good in the preseason. And I talked him up as the reason why I picked him, but I'm willing to say I was wrong based off of this, and he's probably going to have to become Braden Cook. That also could be Marshall, though, depending on his ankle. So, again, I'll get to that in a minute. So, she's a 134. The guy's an absolute pig. For all the talk that Dacos gets, I think Sheasel should be getting just as much. But everyone owns him. He's like 70% owned, isn't he? So it doesn't matter what he does. 76% owned. And Petrarca is the same, I'm pretty sure. Another massive score from him. Yeah, 76% owned. So yeah, it really doesn't matter what these two do. If everyone's got them, everyone serious should have them. It doesn't matter if they go big or small. Petrarca 161 average is just insane. Like, even though we were betting on him doing well to start with because of the fixture, I don't think anyone would have thought 161 average after 2 games. Like, that's absolutely nuts. He looks like he's going to win the Brownlow at this rate, but keep in mind, they're not going to play weak teams every week. I'm especially interested now to see how they go, now that in that second half, West Coast kind of provided a bit of a blueprint on how to beat them. Well, not beat them, but showed their Achilles heel a little bit with that possessive chip game style. It's pretty obvious that the Suns want a fast game, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. And Flanders, I guess, is the same, a 104. Again, he was a little bit slow to start with. 28 touches again. It's probably going to be the standard for him, I would guess. He's a little less owned, 63%, but yeah, it's pretty much everyone, I'd say. So yeah, these three don't need to say much. Philippou, I had a feeling this was going to happen. I've not been entirely sold on him all pre-season. I knew he'd get injured at some point. I didn't expect it to be this early, though. He and, unfortunately, Marshall, they're both just made of glass, so... Yeah, I should have stuck with my gut on Philippou and just chose someone else. But the rookies weren't exactly screaming out, and that's why I went with him. Don't know how serious it is yet. I think it was a quad injury or something, so... Yeah, this is a good thing about the flex, so Philippou didn't count for me. But it definitely hurts, especially when you got a 105 sitting on the bench there. And so... Yeah, Philippou, if it's serious or he's going to miss a few weeks. I don't know. What do? You just hold him? Probably just hold him if you can. Marshall, I'm hoping it's just a rolled ankle or something. Good thing about his scoring, he was on like 82 or 80 when he went out the game. He ended up on a 90 because obviously he did really well in the first 3 quarters. I was really impressed with his game. He left my side after the Crom and Port trial at Alberton, which was, 3 or 4 weeks ago now. But yeah, I'm glad I put him back in because he looks really good back there. He's actually an awesome user of the ball, and he's not too bad defensively, but like when it's time to attack, like, yeah, they get it in his hands. He's good. So I'm hoping that he's alright. And Lombard. So I stuffed up here. I fielded Lombard over Robertson. I wasn't alone either, I reckon. If you look here, 55% started him, 45 on the bench. Robertson's probably like the opposite. 43, 57. Yeah, so I could have had myself a 24.50, but what do? As I said, I won the rookie roulette in every other place pretty much, so that's alright. Lombard was really frustrating to watch. His second half was a lot better, so as Gold Coast got worse, he got better, but first half, like, this was my problem with him last year. Sometimes he just looks like he's intent on trying to prove that he's like this big dog, that he's really tough or something like that, and he doesn't play well when he's like that. He goes for the body and kind of ignores the ball. He gets fumbly, stuff like that. Second half, he stopped doing all that crap. And he started going for the ball and making space. So that was good to see. At least he turned around. I guess he's only a kid, so he's only going to get better. I'm sure the coaches will be telling him. But yeah, it can be pretty rough to watch at times. Definitely have learnt my lesson, though. Dev Rob will be fielded for sure. Kind of insane, really. I should have known better. Like, a midfielder, even though Dev Rob's defensive midfielder, they're always going to outscore on average a bloody small forward. So, you know, Lombard's probably good for a 65 average, I reckon, 65 every week. But yeah, Dev Rob can obviously go bigger. And playing defensive mid in a team like that, probably going to get a fair bit of ball. I thought the West Coast midfield was actually alright, especially in the second half against Gold Coast stacked midfield. So yeah, hats off to Dev because he was probably their best player. Murdoch was really good as well. So I got to get Murdoch in somehow, and I got to get Cook. So if Marshall's injured, it'll be Cook. If he's not and he's fine, I'll obviously keep him. and then it's just Heaney and Philippou. Philippou can become Cook if he's out. If it's none of them, if both of these, if Marshall and Philippou are fine, Murray's gone for Cook. Someone's gone for Cook. I think Nix rates Cook way too highly, and with no sub now, like, he's going to make money. He looked really bloody good. I'll put my hand up and say, at the end of last year, I couldn't believe that he wasn't delisted, or the year before. It turns out they were just playing him in the wrong position. So, yeah, he looks really bloody good now. So, Toby Murray, yeah, 2 touches, 30% game time. I got that one wrong. So, I'm doing this now. I'll put Dev Rob on the field, make myself feel better. It's funny how the projected for next week so low because it's the best 18. So yeah, that's the team. As you can see, I'm pretty happy with it, but this really hurt the Dev Rob and Lombard debacle, I guess you'd call it. But hey, you can't be negative when you just had your best start ever. So I gotta just concentrate on that. I think it's probably just me as a person, really. You know what it's like. You all play the game of Supercoach. Always going to focus on the little things that mess you up, even when the bigger picture is a lot more positive. So yeah, I don't think there's too many problems with this team going forward. I don't think like the scoring will change drastically next week. A couple of the players that underperformed, I hope they drastically change. But yeah, the rookies overall, I think, look good. I'm happy with the structure and stuff. Just, yeah, a couple of little rookie errors there, I thought, from myself. But yeah, what do you do? So yeah, I'm pretty tired after watching footy all day, which is what I've been hanging out for, honestly. And yeah, it was good. So it's getting late and stuff. I think I'm done talking about this. At least I can relax for a couple of days, I think, without too many problems in the team, as I said. But yeah, let me know how you went in the comments. Hopefully you all did well. There was some pretty big scores out there, so I think these are some of the biggest scores I've seen in a round one before. So yeah, chances are you all did well. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'm especially interested to find out about what happened with Clark. So if anyone could let me know, any Freo or Geelong supporters especially. But yeah, I think that's it. So we made it through the first week and all the stress of that, and 22 more weeks of stress to go, whereas we're only just beginning. So yeah, thanks for the support, and thanks for the pre-season and watching and stuff. And I'll make another video in a couple of days, probably going over my trades, and I might even review some of the games and get a general feel of the landscape, I think, of how things are now after, what would you call it, 1.5 rounds. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in that video.